articles pop up, and
Oh,
Dan has been a jerk since he was 16. And
that's a good idea, actually. All right, so no Rowdies game last week, so nothing to talk about in terms of that. However, there were lots of other games going on around the league that had an impact on us. Remember how we were convinced that this was going to be kind of a make or break weekend, and it kind of it stunk to be off this weekend, considering that all the teams above us were in action. A funny thing happened, by the way. Pretty much what everybody lost on the weekend, and I think Louisville won a game, the midweek game, while we were on air last time. I gotta remember to put it back on me when I'm talking, so we have it going like this. So I think what we'll do first is we'll start out with the actual standings, and see how we're still in a pretty good position. Louisville has reclaimed the first spot on one of the tiebreakers over Charlotte. I'm not sure exactly which one, but Louisville is sitting top with 44 points. They have one game in hand on us. At this point last week, they had 2 games in hand, and I believe
I
they
don't
were...
see any live stream stuff.
Last time when I did the test one, it popped up a little bit later, so...
Okay, I mean, I don't even see it on the YouTube channel.
Oh, that's weird.
It has the test from a week ago, and it has episode 93 and 95, which I don't even remember, but...
That was way back in the day.
Yeah, but nothing live.
I'm muting myself just to let you know that it's on your YouTube. It's just not on your Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We'll see if it posts out there. Very cool. That was Samantha. Everyone say hi, Samantha. Long-time listeners may remember her voice from a previous time, saying lots of things that we can't say on Radio St. Pete now.
I'm going to behave, I promise.
We're going to try to as well, but we're kind of making everything up as we go tonight, so I don't make any promises. I'm going to go full Jon Snow mode and not make promises I can't uphold.
Hey, spoilers. I'm on season 3.
So, yeah, you've missed it. Like, this entire season is so... I won't tell you anything that happened, but it's... Like, I kind of assumed they would have some feedback from George about where the story's going. I don't think they've been talking to him at this point, because they're just... Everything fans wanted to see, they're just making it happen right now.
Look, I think he's dead.
This is possible, too. Has anyone seen him? Like, there's been tweets and LiveJournal and stuff, but has anyone seen him in person?
Look, I know. I mean, we're completely off the soccer train right now, but I posted on Twitter about who was better, who did it better, George R. R. Martin or Tolkien. But my thing here, hold on, is A, I was just being a jerk and trying to annoy my friend Ashley, and B, I don't think he's going to finish the books, so it's irrelevant because he's a jerk. And this is why I actually stopped watching in the first place, because I'm a book elitist. And I'm never going to get the ending. So if I'm not going to get that ending, I don't want your BS TV ending.
It's the craziest thing, and this won't really spoil anything. All of a sudden, in like the last half, not so much the last of season 6, but season 7, ravens can now teleport. Apparently,
that sounds fun.
Yeah, because they are crossing huge distances of Westeros and back in a single episode. It's rather interesting how fast that moves. But yeah, getting back to the soccer. By the way, Tolkien is the correct answer. Charlotte's got 44 points in second. We have a game in hand on them. Charleston has 41 points in third. We have a game, in hand on them. We're sitting right now in fourth with 38 points. Rochester also has 38 points, one spot behind us on a tiebreaker. They have a game in hand on us. So you can count on a 1-0 win for them at home probably at some point. Orlando's had a nice little run recently. They're up to sixth with 35 points. We have a game in hand on them. Cincinnati's I guess finally deciding to do something in USL. 34 points in the 7th spot. We have a game in hand on them, and then Bethlehem. In the last spot currently with 33 points and having played an equal number of games as us. There's one game in progress tonight. Doesn't really impact us all. Two teams that won't sniff the playoffs this year: Toronto and St. Louis. Tomorrow, Orlando plays Bethlehem. Bethlehem could hop over Orlando with a win, or go level with Cincinnati with a draw. Orlando would stay in their spot at that point. We've got a situation where we've got the ability to make up some ground this weekend if we can get a win over a team that, on paper, I think we should beat. You like how I cut it off?
Yeah.
You were drinking beer there.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. But yeah, you're right. We should definitely be able to beat New York Red Bulls too. But it's a road game, so anything's possible. But it's a chance to, if we win by 2, we jump into third place and hopefully give us a little ground in the home playoff game, which I apparently made the bet that if we get a home playoff game and win, I'm doing another Power Hour live.
Oh, you did? Did I put the tattoo on that one too?
I don't think so. It was just a Facebook memory that said I'm doing the Power Hour, and then Pendleton was like, again, so we made a deal. I will do we'll live stream it this time.
We will live stream it.
We'll do a Power Hour. I'll let somebody else choose the beer this time, so I'm not drinking Bud Light or whatever, Coors Light or whatever I had last time.
Now, would this be before or after the home playoff game?
We have to win the home playoff game, so it'll be the next show after that, and I will do the Power Hour.
Okay, all right. Anything? So yeah, we've got 3-game road trip coming up. We're going to start off with Red Bull 2 this weekend, and then what? Go to is it Harrisburg or Pittsburgh first?
Harrisburg and then Bethlehem Steel.
Bethlehem, not Pittsburgh. We're done with Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Harrisburg is like a midweek game, am I right?
Probably, I think so. You're right.
I
don't know though.
Weekend after. We'll have to double check.
You think? I mean, I can barely plan tomorrow's lunch, so.
See, that's another good reason to get married. I don't have to. She makes it. I deal with it. 3 games that, on paper, no offense to those teams and their fans, but we should win those games. If those games are at Al Lang, that's another 9-point swing right there.
Oh, it's a Wednesday at 6:30.
The Harrisburg one?
Yeah.
And then Bethlehem's the next weekend?
Yes, it's Saturday, so it's a quick turnaround.
Saturday. At least, though, they're not. Now, I'm assuming they're just going to stay on the road the whole time, because what's the point in coming back here to go back to Harrisburg and then to
They're going to come back here after New York and then go from Harrisburg City to Bethlehem, and then they'll stay on the road for Wednesday, Saturday, but they're coming home after the Saturday, the Red Bulls game.
Okay. I'm not going to start doing, that's something I could have thrown in for today, was doing a preview of New York, since we're going to play them this weekend, and we haven't played them yet this year, and I totally didn't do that.
They're bad, and we should win.
Now, they're a team that last year they were one of the finalists in the USL Cup final against Swope.
They won.
They won, yeah. And this year, looks like they're not going to make I guess they're in the spots right now, but it's a close call whether they're going to make the playoffs. They won't
they're below the line, so
which won't matter. But New York's they're in the spot right now. They're still kind of fighting for it. Harrisburg's all but done, right? They're
at 24 points. They're about 10 points out of a playoff spot.
And then Bethlehem is a couple points behind us. Same number of games, but they're like 5 points back. They're still in the hunt right now for the playoffs. But these are teams that we should beat and teams that we need to beat as well. By the way, those of you guys, if anyone's watching this on YouTube, there's a phone number over there on the right-hand side of the screen. If you want to call in, we'll no, other way. Yeah, I think is your video mirrored or something. If you'd like to call in, we can take some callers tonight, I suppose. I'd put it out there live, but then who knows who's going to call in? Maybe Balls shows up.
Because he's banned.
Not that I want to spend all of our show talking about other people's shows, but I haven't heard the story. What was what happened?
One-legged Dan was like, I don't like this guy anymore. He's a jerk, blah, blah, blah. So he wanted to fight him with the Punch-Out. And they made it where he wouldn't be able to call until January or something. And somehow One-legged Dan beat balls.
Oh, see, I thought he was fighting Medicine Man.
No, that's the other Dan, the one with the voice.
The voice, yeah. Okay, all right. Anyway, we'll stop talking about other people's shows and go back to soccer because that's ostensibly what we're here for. There's my vocab word for the day. I like that one. Your predictions for the road trip?
I think we tie New York. I think we beat Harrisburg City, and I think we beat Bethlehem Steel.
This sounds like a weird version of Marry, F, and Kill.
Yeah.
I don't know which team specifically, but
I would kill them all.
3 games that we should win, 3 games that we need to win. I'm going to say a win, a draw, and a loss.
Wow, you're just, you know.
I locked myself out of the house today. I'm in a bad mood.
I was driving around Pasco County catching Pokemon.
So let me see. If I say win, draw, and a loss, I say we. We're getting notes from our producer over here. I'm gonna say
it's not like the newsroom, you know, where what's her name was standing back there with the notepad.
Teleprompters.
Like yeah, it's not like that at all.
I'm gonna say we draw New York. We beat Harrisburg, and we somehow dropped the last game of the road trip, probably on a crappy call by the referee. We dropped that game to Bethlehem, and I don't hear the end of it from Evan from Brotherly Game for a while, who always tweets me when they're like within 2 or 3 points of us, and then they lose a bunch of games. And but you know who's been playing for Bethlehem lately? I don't know if he still is. I'll have to find out. Maurice Adu.
Yeah, he was rehabbing there, wasn't he?
Yeah, so I don't know if he's still down
Hopefully
there
get him out of
or
there.
not. It'd be an interesting arrangement there. All right, anything else to say about the playoff race?
Let's just make the dang playoffs. Okay, let's just do it.
Well, let's make the playoffs, but let's do it in the top 4.
Yeah,
so
because I want a home playoff game.
And I want one to win, so that you have to carry the show for about an hour.
I can do that. I mean, I'll just have a nice fancy shot glass with a bunch of beer, and we will get fun.
Something with it?
Yeah, we're going to get crunk. Is that something the kids still say?
I don't know. You don't ask me.
Apparently no. Okay, so we don't get crunk anymore. We're going to get lit.
If I hear if I have middle schoolers telling me about getting crunk, I think I have to report it to the state.
Probably. It's going to be lit, yo.
That's kind of a scary thing. Violently miming in the corner of our live stream right now. I see you. Is there any?
I need this all the time.
That's like a special proficiency. Oh, we got someone calling in. Hold on, I'm gonna put you on mute real quick until I know who this is. I guess it's kind of hard to. It's someone in Tampa. I know that part because it shows up with a little Google map of where you are. Let's go ahead and put you on the air. This is tell us who you are and please don't cuss.
Hey, my Ben, it's Kevin.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
Not much, man. Just watching you guys on YouTube. I kind of want to make it to at least one episode, you know? Give you guys a call, a shout out.
This is our first time doing it, so. How's life up there in, you still in South Carolina?
Yeah, in North Carolina. It's all right. You know, hanging out, kind of itching, waiting for a soccer game. For another World game. Yeah.
Oh, you must be getting bored. I haven't seen you messing with the Cincinnati fans too much lately.
I've been busy, man. I've been working hard, so I haven't had too much time for that.
All I know is every time I get up in the morning, I come over because I gotta take my daughter. We leave the house to take her to the bus stop at about like 7 o'clock. So at like 6:30, I get up and I'm checking Facebook real quick, and I'll just see like a message in a thread somewhere. It's like $5 tickets.
And they take it so well. I mean, they keep going and going, and I'm just like, you guys are terrible. I mean, like, what, ninth place in the league or something? I see you like Liverpool. What do you think of that game on Sunday?
Oh, it was fantastic. It was worth waking up for. I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't follow the EPL too much, but I watched that game and I was like, wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, well, Dan and I are both big Liverpool nerds too, so that was fun. Anytime you can beat someone 4-0, especially Arsenal, and then it looks like we're going to take the ox from them too in the transfer window, that's a fun time.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna try to make it down there for one more game before the season ends, and for the playoffs, I'm gonna try to make it to any games if possible.
Very cool.
Let's see how it works. It's with me, so.
Well,
you guys keep up the good work, okay?
Thank you, sir. If you need a place to crash or something, I volunteer Dan's place.
Yeah.
He's more fun than I am.
All right, hey. Take it easy, guys.
All right, thanks for calling. Talk to you later, Kevin. See ya. Okay, that was so. What second live caller other than Dave Martinez?
Yeah.
Who maybe Dave's watching too. If he wants to call, he can go. So Kevin must still have like a Tampa cell phone because it popped up like it shows like a little Google Map overlay, and it was something about Northwest Tampa.
I love it.
I was trying to figure out who it was. Very cool. All right, so I think we need to do this on a regular basis now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I guess I'll start wearing shirts for all the broadcasts, which will disappoint you, Dan. I know you like the. Well, we won't talk about that.
I'm gonna shave the Rowdy's logo into my chest hair for the next one.
Oh, gross. Is that like the male version of a tramp stamp?
No, we still have tramp stamps.
I know there are because I keep saying I'm going to get the lower back tattoo if it happens, but I think that's the metrosexual male version right there.
I see nodding in the corner. That's what it is.
All right. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to take a look at. We're going to go a little bit in depth on some league news, team news. The only thing really for the league, and we're going back to the playoff hunt. They put this article out. Back on the 26th, a few days ago, Nick Murray wrote it. You can find him around the stands at Ao Lang on any given weekend. Usually when there's a game on, otherwise it's just kind of weird. He's out there by himself. But they broke down by each club, current record, maximum points they could achieve, points needing to clinch, average finishing position, last game, next game. Now, this is before, I believe, last weekend's game, so there might be some differences going to now. But right now, what we look like is 10, 6, and 8, 38 points. That's still the same. Maximum points available is 62. Points needing to clinch is 18. And our average finishing position is 5th. One spot out of a home playoff game. No. I don't want that.
Me neither.
This was after we drew 1-1 with Ottawa. Next game talking about this weekend. And they rightfully point out Rowdies were held by Fury FC at home this past weekend, which means if they're going to earn a home playoff game, they're going to have to improve on the road in the final stretch of the season. Shouldn't have any problems reaching the postseason, but how far it goes could be greatly determined by its seed. A successful playoff run for us is going to depend, in my opinion, on getting a home playoff game. If we have to go on the road even for the first round, I'm not extremely confident.
No, if we have to play the entire playoffs on the road, I don't like our chances at all. One game would be great to get the ball rolling and then go from there, because then you hope a couple of people above you lose, and then you can keep some home playoff games. But let's take care of business on this little 3-game road trip here and reevaluate from there.
Yeah, the way that breaks down from averaging finishing position, Louisville was kind of posted to go first with their finishing position 1.3. Charlotte second, 2.3. Charleston 3.4. Rochester is 4.6. They've got that game in hand on us, and they're level on points. So we're going to need them to drop a game that they maybe shouldn't. Cincinnati was 6th at the time. Their averaging finishing position is 8th. Bethlehem 7th. Orlando City B 8.3. So it's going to be, looks like maybe a little dogfight for one of the last playoff spots between them and Cincinnati. And Red Bull coming in at 9.4. But Pittsburgh still has an outside chance. 9.9. St. Louis FC 8.9. So there's, they could possibly be in contention with those three teams to sneak in. Ottawa looks like they won't make it. Harrisburg, no. Richmond, no. Toronto, no. You kind of can get an idea right now who the 8 teams are likely to be. I think there'll be a little bit of a fight for that 8th and 9th spot. 2 of the teams that we're going to play on this road trip are still in it. New York is still in it, and Bethlehem's still in it. Harrisburg is dead man walking at this point, but doesn't mean they won't play spoiler.
Trap game.
Yeah.
But the thing is, okay, so we have a game in hand on Charlotte, right? Yeah.
And we
if
still
we
have to play
keep
them one more
pace,
time. They have to come here.
yeah, I was gonna say that's our next home game on the 23rd. If we keep pace and we win our game in hand, we can then, that'll put us in a good spot to be fighting for second place even.
So the magic is still possible. The dream is
I don't think
I might be getting in.
I don't. It doesn't look like we'll catch Louisville because they still have 2 games or 1 game in hand on us, and they're 2 games in hand on Charlotte, and they're at 44 points. But we can still. There's a very good possibility we can climb the table still. We're not dead to rights in 4th or 5th. Like we can still, if we win out on this road trip and then beat Charlotte here, there's a good chance, then we will be, depending on our goal differential, we'll be battling out for second place.
Yeah, and then I'm going to use that as a nice, smooth little segue into the next thing I was going to mention. In that article, they post a link to a site called sportsclubstats.com, and they've got all kinds of I can't even begin to interpret some of this stuff. All kinds of interesting data about playoff chances, playoff positions, and everything. So the way it looks right now, let me pull it up here again. We have. Oh wait, I'm in the wrong spot. I get that a lot. Here we go. We have a 1% chance of grabbing the top spot, so it's still a possibility. 7% of finishing second, 15% third, 21% fourth, 23% fifth. So our chances for between 4th and 5th are not too far off. We've got an equal chance as going third as we do of going 6th, 15% for both of those. 9% chance of 7th, 5% of 8th, and then 3% of 9th, 1% of 10th and 11th, and then 0% of being in the bottom 3, which is nice. Our chances to make the playoffs now sit at 95.3%. It jumped up from like 94.9%, I guess, after the games from over the weekend. So feel fairly safe in saying we're going to have a playoff game. They also do a little RPI and like strength of schedule. Our strength of schedule is not. I don't know if looking at this, I don't know if the higher number means you have the easier run. If the lower number means you have a better run. I think it's probably the lower number. We're kind of average at a 0.514 in our strength of schedule, so there's points out there to be had, even on the road, even for this team.
Yeah, we just need to play like the team we are, and not like the team we pretend to be when we go on the road.
Luckily, we don't have to play Ottawa again, and that will be hopefully an improvement on the performance on the field.
And a performance, in the stands, because it is the most boring game to watch. I don't care. It is the most boring game to watch.
Playing Ottawa, yeah.
Yeah.
You mean watching them lay in the ground?
Yeah, like
I feel bad because one of the Ottawa fans was keeping me company on Twitter as I was locked out of the house, and here we are, rightfully slamming his.
Well, he's a nice guy, but he doesn't. I mean, when you're stuck in Canada, I guess it's all you got. But that team is just so boring to watch, and I was hoping when we were going to USL they wouldn't come with us. They just need to go to the Canadian Premier League and get so I don't ever have to watch them again.
So what? Another year or two, I think, before that kicks off. I think they do end up there. I honestly do.
I hope so, because I hate it. I hate it. I mean, I left that game early.
Well, yeah, but we won't go into that.
I left that game early. I was bored.
All right. Any other league news we wanted to throw out there?
No.
That was really the one thing we were
That's
looking at on
it.
the website. All right. So some team news. Rowdy's put out the announcement today. Let me find it here. Right there in the front, the way it should be. September is, as always, Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and the Rowdies are bringing back the Gold Together hashtag initiative, whatever you want to call it. So the Rowdies have 2 home games in September. Didn't last year we only had 1 or 2 games?
Yeah.
We need to start getting some more home games in September. Now that we don't have the July 4th Strikers fireworks anymore, can we get like 3 home games in September so we can get behind this?
It looks like there's back-to-back. It looks like there's a September 30th game.
But I mean, last year it was like what, 1 game, wasn't it? We only had 1 game, something like that.
Wait a minute, it's a September 30th game.
Oh, that's not good.
I gotta go to a wedding.
Well, I tell them they're making a mistake. Or at least my wife could tell them they're making a mistake. I lucked out on that end.
I don't even know them.
Why? Are you like the +1?
Yeah.
Can you bring a guest too? Can your +1 have a +1? So don't throw a fuss, son.
No.
Okay. Had to throw that out there. I've been watching too much Desus and Mero lately. All right, so for the September 23rd and 30th Rowdies match, $2 from every ticket sold, including season tickets, will be donated to Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital Pediatric Cancer Research Unit. Additionally, the club will donate $1,000 for every goal and $1,000 for a shutout. And they'll have various pre- and in-game activities to support fundraising. 12-year-old pediatric cancer survivor Marissa Petty will sing the anthem at both matches. And there's another, I don't know if that's the same one they're talking about doing they did that toy drive with. Because Cole Eicher's still involved. He's kind of the face of the whole thing. But there was another kid that when they did the toy drive with it, the last one, I think they're doing some stuff with her. I believe she's 9, which is my daughter's age, which is a scary thing to kind of think of. But this is a cool thing they've been doing for a while. And not that you need another reason to go out to the game, but go out to the game anyway, and help these kids out, because there's a lot of crappy stuff in the world, but kids are usually a pretty cool thing. It's kind of why I do the job I do. And cancer sucks. So get out there and help support that. I think they're going to have some more stuff going on. I know I got an email recently with some other information. I might be doing some fundraiser stuff at my school too. We'll see what I can arrange and what I'm allowed to do. But get out there. Like, it's just another good reason to go to the game.
Yes.
Anything? I'm trying to think. Was there anything else out there that we needed to throw in there, team news wise? We talked about Hunter Gorski last week. We will have. I put this out on Twitter today. We do have a short-term loan signing. We're going to have a photographer in attendance at this weekend's Red Bull 2 Rowdies game. Steve Hamlin from This Is Cosmos Country. I refuse to say formerly of, because I don't accept that they're not around anymore. But he'll be there doing some pictures for us. We'll have him up on the website, using him with our articles and things like that. He's going to be our secret agent Pat. He's our Pat in New York or something like that, since we can't afford to send Pat to New York. If
I'm sending anybody to New York, it's me. I need to go home.
So we'll have some Pat stuff out there. We were gonna have a guest on tonight, but we couldn't make times work. Couldn't make the connection happen. We'll try and get it done before the next home game, though. Our buddy Derek, who owns the Shamrock in Sarasota, we kind of talked about it a little bit last week. I put it out there on Twitter. They've got it on Facebook. Derek is chartering a bus for the next home game on the 23rd to leave from Shamrock in Sarasota over on Ringling Boulevard about 4 p.m. on Saturday. It's free. If you want to go to the game, just tell him and get on the bus.
Can you drink on the bus?
Yes, you can drink on the bus. I mean, I'm assuming we've drank on every other bus we've taken from Shamrock to anywhere else. So
I wish I wouldn't be passing St. Pete to get there.
I will be coming on the bus this time rather than showing up early and at the tailgate. I'm going to roll with that crew. He's also going to put on a tailgate, a cookout when we get to the stadium. That's all free. And he says that's free. Anybody who wants to come over, just come on over. If you have a ticket already, cool, get on the bus. If you need a ticket, you can get group rate tickets from Derek. He's got a ticket code for it, or you can buy them from him at the bar. I'm talking to our friends down in Northport or Fort Myers, Tony and Sarah, about coming up and catching the bus. I think they're going to try to, since he has season tickets and hasn't used them yet. So hopefully we'll get him up for the game. That'll be fun.
So you said, "Come on over," and I started singing Shania.
You started kind of started rocking out over there.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have Derek on maybe next week to talk more about this himself. Other than that, do we have anything else? I don't think we do.
I don't think so.
You want to talk about some D3 soccer?
No.
No?
I mean, USL 3 D3 is happening. There's that other one that Peter Wilt has said is starting, but
there's all kinds of things.
I haven't read enough into it because I just don't care right now.
You want to talk about Jesse Marsh's comments? Should we talk about?
You want to talk pro rel? You want to do this?
No, I want to eat dinner and go to bed. I'm tired.
Okay.
It's been a long.
Well, then let's not do this.
This would have been a good day to just do all of that, but
yeah, it would have. But we don't. At this point, I have no desire to deal with any of that.
No. If when it happens, cool. I don't know. I think we've said it enough times. Kind of.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the be-all, end-all silver bullet that its most hardcore proponents do, but I would like to see it implemented at some point in time when it is logical. I don't think doing it right now fixes all the problems in any division of the U.S. soccer ziggurat, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, I think it just makes an unstable soccer country more unstable.
And it makes
if we did it right now.
Anything else?
No, I think we're good. Let me see. I didn't have any thoughts of, hey, I need to talk about this on the podcast.
Do we want to mention the election, the primary?
No, I'd rather stay out of that.
Yeah. Except to say that there will go to a general election between the two Ricks in November. So. Again, neither of us live in St. Pete, so we're not going to endorse one or the other. But go out and vote because that's kind of important. We saw as the results came in, Baker was leading by like 300, and then once some of the mail ballots and I guess I don't know, it wasn't like early voting, but once they counted those, it swung to a 69 vote victory. Nice for Kreisman, but neither one of them cracked the 50% mark to win it outright. So. On to the general election we go, or you guys go, and I'm in Sarasota. I don't know. All right. Do we have any we love yous?
Everybody. I am in a very good, loving mood today.
Didn't you
I love
use that one
everybody.
last week? Are you still in a good mood for the same reasons?
No.
No, that's over already.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's already been a week.
So we have a chance of winning then.
See, I planned it perfectly for a bye week. Yes, we have a chance of winning.
Good Lord, Daniel. Who was it? And you posted something the other day. So it was an aunt or a grandmother or something.
Okay, so I was at my sister's,
right.
and my aunt called my sister, and my sister just always answers on speakerphone. I was over there just with the kids because I had to take them to open house. And my aunt said something, and my sister just replies, "Oh, well, not Danny or whatever." And my aunt just goes, "Oh, Danny, he's never going to get married. These women get to know him, and then they leave." And I was like, well, I'm right here.
And then she hung up, proving her point.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, she's not wrong, but she doesn't have to be that, savage, man. That hurt my heart.
Grandma's bringing the fire.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll cut it off there, and we will be back next week with a game to talk about. And I'll remember to put together a preview of Harrisburg since we haven't played them yet. We haven't played any of these three. Are these the only three teams left we haven't played? Red Bull, Harrisburg,
I think
Bethlehem?
so. Yeah.
And then we're going to get those three twice in this.
Well, we played Harrisburg City. We played them here.
Oh yeah, that's right. All these overwhelming home wins just kind of run together at one point.
Yeah. We can only do that on the road.
Yeah, I'd even settle for a bad call leading to a road win. All right, well, that'll be it for us for tonight. We'll be back next Wednesday, same time, same place. Probably on YouTube again, maybe with open phones. We'll see. And we'll talk to you guys then. See ya.
Deuces.
The rallies were here, the rallies were there, they kicked the ball around. The rallies were here, the